markers being shown. Don't worry, Infinity Ward, they're on top of it. They're so invested in Call of Duty competitive this year, and it's been great to see. Some things to point out. You have the stuff you've seen in the past, right? We've got our objective on the left side. Right now, the hardpoint on that train platform. The top right, still the scoreboard, the mini-map in the top left. But now, in the bottom left of your screen, you have the full loadout bar. Underneath Nagafen's name, though, is that white bar. That represents his health bar. When he goes weak, you'll see that drop down. You'll see it regen when he gains his health back. I'm sure in this next gunfight he gets in, it'll be a great time for you to begin to see. There he goes. Weak. White bar is now gone. That signifies him coming back off the respawn. Another thing to point out, I mentioned coming off the respawn, Hardpoint now has a 2.5 second respawn delay.
Yep.
It's much heavier focused around anchoring those spawns for your team. The assault rifle role is going to be absolutely key to lock down the spawns you want, but also to get those rotations in favor of your team.
Absolutely. It's going to be big. I mean, we talk about control and trying to maybe slow the game down. Hardpoint, especially for a viewer at home, can be a little too fast at times, a little bit frenetic. Now, this is going to be a lot more about position and control, like you mentioned.
Ooh, loony.
Getting into this, though, you're going to notice some things which we're going to talk about more over the course of the day, but when you see there's going to be a lot of weapon variety, there are reasons for a lot of this, and also some different items, perks, things that aren't going to be used.
Oh, yeah.
And there's a reason why we're going to talk a little bit more about rules and stuff as we get through the show.
Wait.
I know. I'm excited.
We have segments to the show, Clint. There's a schedule we have to follow. In this one, though, still Hardpoint. Still going over Codcaster. Right now, on the bottom, you're seeing the loadout, which we talked about, what weapons are being used, what grenades are brought out. You can even see the payload that is being used alongside traits. So currently, Nagafen running that Phantom rig. He's got active camo as well as rear guard as his trait. Also to point out, underneath the top middle of your screen, there are now something called major events. The next time the hardpoint moves is when you'll wind up seeing one pop up. That signals, hey, there's a new hardpoint to everybody watching at home. Maybe the casters miss it, or maybe we just don't talk about it too much. It still lets the viewer at home know there's a new hardpoint up. Players are going to have to rotate, and bam, Nagafen calls in the Scarab there, gets a kill onto his teammate Aqua.
And also, you know, we talk about how it usually takes, what, a month, 2, 3 for callouts to kind of get consistent with players, with casters. Now you'll see at the kind of mid-left of the screen, bike path. That's the current hardpoint. Now a train platform, alleyway, you'll see right above that is Felony moves across the map. You know, by having this in the game from Infinity Ward, I think it's going to provide a lot more consistent information to be relayed.
Oh, and absolutely, right now, watch below the scoreboard on the top of the screen. The hardpoint's about to move. There it comes in. New hardpoint, the major alert to let players know there are also minor alerts, all sorts of things that we've been working with Infinity Ward on making sure in the game. Stuff that's important to a viewer that maybe we don't get to see when driving the Codcaster. Right here, something funny to point out. Felony and Squad, they already have the rotations down for this throwback hardpoint map. The red team, they maneuvered here first. Unfortunately, though, they do go 3 down, and Vicento looks like he's gotten the flank on the hardpoint as the Saber team will go ahead and get control.
You saw there kind of the difference that the 2.5 second respawn can make.
Absolutely.
After that break, they would have been getting hit almost immediately after that with instant respawn, but instead they kind of have a chance to get set up, get their corners, get position, and they hold.
Well, why is that? Vicento flanks on in. He gets near the hardpoint, stops the spawns from coming in. They chain together 3 kills that forces everybody on the red team, Clayster squad, to spawn out. And now because of that, the blue team has gotten 40 straight seconds. They're right back in this game. And now look at your minimap again. The rotation's already coming into play. If you look at your scoreboard right now, though, the flashing circle next to Felony's name, the flashing circle next to Nagafen's name, means both players have their combat rig payloads ready to go. We'll see how they elect to use those as this game goes on.
And one cool feature we haven't seen yet, I'm hoping we'll see it through the course of this game. You see the, there it was. You see the X-ray there, how the player to the left started to blink, pulse. That is when they actually use either their payload. It's incredible. I think for the viewer to know what's being popped, what's going on in front.
Well, now with the payloads being in game, obviously with specialists in the past, it was always a big thing right there. Boom. The player he's shooting at has a payload ready, and there you go. Vicento uses the rewind, gains back his ammo, and actually kills John after. Players have been mentioning, you know, rewind, because of how it refills your ammo, gains you back that health. It's so viable in these respawn game modes. The anchor with the AR gets challenged, maybe gets weak, 2 players coming at him, gets 1, rewinds back, gains back that health. so awesome to see the bouncing with these different payloads, and just like that, Saber team now up 105 to 104 after the first full rotation here on Throwback.
And this is what we were hoping for, right? We've seen these guys play a lot.
Yeah.
We've had a lot of close hard points. You and I, obviously we've been prepping for the show, but we've been watching a lot as well. What's been maybe the single greatest thing for you that stood out in this particular game mode for Hardpoint in Infinite Warfare?
I mean, right now, it's much easier to follow for me, right? I'm watching this with the 2.5-second respawn delay. You're seeing teams set up much more for quality pushes instead of just throwing their head right at it.
Yeah.
They've got to make sure they've got the numbers on their side. Right now, again, Clayster's team, they go 3 dead. Well, what are they going to do? They're going to wait for each other to come off spawn. They're going to push as a unit. Felony trying to make a hero play happen because he was in a little bit too deep, but now Aqua, he's got out the eraser. 2 already looking for more. The AR player of the Sabertooth team. He's got 5 seconds in the hard point, but he's leading the game in Slay.
Unfortunately, the Racer not going to be the best with the up close and personal. John, as he pushes, we'll see if the Wraith team can pull away. Starting to push out to a bit of a lead here on board with Looney. You see on X-Ray, he's got a couple in front, able to find one. Second comes around the corner, not able to win that one as Nagafin will take off his head, but back and forth the battle has been thus far.
Payload used, watch out. This one's coming in towards the hard point. Nagafin just backs on up, doesn't actually see the player. He'll go ahead, push on in. First engagement goes his way. Aqua there for the trade. Felony, though, had Nagafin's back, so trade's coming in right away. And if you're wondering, why is it so hard for this red team to break in? It's because the blue squad has held down the spawns. That respawn delay has come in so key. Even right there, Clayster pushes in. Because Aqua's all the way in the back, locking down that back park area for his team. It's an unrelenting pressure from the blue squad, and it's given them a close game yet again.
And we've had, we mentioned TP, Revan, Merc, Mud Dog. These guys have been working kind of on a consultant basis, a lot with the Infinity Ward team on maybe where the hard point would make the most sense to set up the most dynamic rotations. And we've seen some tweaks and changes they've tried with the players just over the course of the past couple of days. It's been really, really awesome to watch it develop. Makes me really excited for 2017.
Oh, it certainly does. Now, Facento, he was just using the Volk assault rifle right there, one of the energy weapons. And what's been great is over the course of today and yesterday, that's been his go-to gun. He's been adapting with that weapon. I've been seeing a bunch of different players bring out, this is my favorite gun. This is the gun I think is best. So much weapon variety. Now the NV4, really the all-around kind of assault rifle weapon. Good at every range, but maybe up close might not be the best. Might get outclassed by some of those submachine guns. Attached did use his camo there. He's still holding the spawns for his team, and still, this game is close, about to be 151 to 151.
2.5 left on the clock to go with this as well. You do see the Scarab available for attach. We've seen a couple sick kills picked up with that already. You saw attach use the camo too. The effect looks amazing here in Infinite Warfare. Shots a little bit off as John's going to pick up a 2-piece there. As he tries to break in, make it 3, and now with just under 5 seconds, the rotation is going to begin. John, I believe, had one to his right. He's going to wrap around the back. He can actually flank several players here if he gets through, but he's worried about his own flank right now.
Yeah, I got to play with these guys a little bit earlier. Joking with John, I said, John, I'll be your JCap. He said, Jack, that wouldn't be hard to do because he doesn't bring too much to the team. It's now 162 to 162.
Oh,
I'm just kidding, JCap.
Watching.
I love you. Yeah, I know. Now I'm going to get some ridiculous tweet. That's going to get so many favorites. Facento, though, comes in with the Scarab, blows him on up. 3 dead. Pressure coming in from the blue team. Looks like there's an opportunity for a perfect break. If you look at your minimap, red spawning out near middle. There just isn't enough pressure in yet from blue, and it's because the chain of kills that come in from Felony and John.
And you'll see Facento kind of backing up, waiting for a little bit of help here. Has one in front. Back low, able to pick it up.
Nice job by Nagafin with the grenades, too.
20 seconds remaining here. The rotation going to be coming in soon. This is going to be another game coming down to the wire. So far, looking very, very evenly matched here. Who do you think is going to take it down the stretch, Jack?
Oh, gosh. One thing you got to watch out for is payloads that are available. 3 up right now. Clayster, Fellow, as well as John, all have theirs ready to go, which can definitely swing this further in the red team's favor. They've earned themselves a 20-second lead, and actually, I mentioned Felony got that payload. He just used his. John just popped his as well, and both of them were for nothing. A great swing for Saber team right now, back within 10.
Yeah, basically that entire advantage you spoke of got ripped away in seconds. But let's see. We're on with Aqua now, what he is able to do. He's got that K-bar. They've been talking a lot about how good the K-bar is.
In all situations.
Yeah, it really is kind of that all-purpose weapon. He's able to find one. You saw a second player next row pushing in. Not able to find that. Will get dropped ultimately by John when he pushes through. Looney trying to follow it up. We've got yet another lead change. Now Saber's back in control. Looney kind of watching the far right, rotating back as the call comes in from his teammate. We'll have 1 below. 2 in the back, not able to win that first gunfight, Jack.
The blue squad outslaying by 20+ kills at the moment, which for how many kills they have at an advantage, the game's still close, and a lot of it has become down to, you know, those middle hard points where everyone's fighting back and forth. Yes, maybe the Saber team, the blue team gets more kills, but they haven't gotten the time to show for it. It's been kind of slaying around the objective. Meanwhile, Clayster and squad, there's been a couple hills that they've gotten the rotation on early and held it for the majority of the time. After 2 full rotations, these squads are separated by just 2 seconds.
Well, you got to think that 2.5 second respawn takes it away from being maybe as slay heavy as a faster paced hardpoint. Makes it more about control. And you're seeing that a little bit here as we get our first hardpoint in Infinite Warfare. Nice shots coming in from Clays. He gets an assist on one, not able to find the second. That was Aqua actually breaking in. Aqua and crew trailing by a few points. Just under 2 minutes to go here on the play clock. And we've actually seen a couple of the hard points we've casted, or well, I should say watched actually, as the players are getting ready. We've seen it go to time limit several times.
Oh, it's because these teams are so evenly matched, which I was really happy about when these guys wound up picking their rosters. We'll take a look. Aqua now has that eraser. We saw it earlier in the game, the damage he could do with it. Now 42 and 33. When does he elect to use that weapon? With time ticking down in this game, it could be the difference maker when his team is fighting for these spawns. I mean, maybe even now it would be a good time to wind up using it. Instead, it's still just going to keep that pocketed, and now is the time for the eraser. What type of damage can Aqua do?
Well, he's got one shot off. Second will connect. There's one more mid-map. See if he gets in the corner.
I like this angle a lot.
Playing it slow. One's right underneath him, but unfortunately checks his corner. That's Nogbin picking him up, so the eraser only is going to find home in one. Now Saber just need 5 points to close it out. Scareabout trying from the front of barn, not able to do so. It's going to be Facento backing up, has one, finds a second with the assist. 3 points left. They should be able to close it out, and that is your ball game.
GG, 250 to 209. Aqua attach, Looney and crew take the map.
We'll take a quick look at the scoreboard here. Aqua going plus 11. Big time. You know, you talked about the fact that they had such a big slaying advantage through this one, ultimately proving to be enough as Saber gets it done. Attach, Aqua, Looney, you're seeing there in the winner's circle. Attach puts on a show, and they are able to take it. But now I've kicked Jack off the couch for now. We've got a